obviously there's some impressive stats in there, obviously.
Yeah.
But how does that sit with clients, and how does that sit with brands who want to use you as a medium to reach that millennial generation?
Yeah, they love it. They love it. I don't think most of the brands and clients we talk to, it's not should we, it's how should we, what should we do, right? And so that's where I spend a lot of my time. My role as VP of Digital is not only to shape our ad product roadmap, but also to be a good counselor for agencies and clients to look at our data. So one great benefit we have at Pandora is all the listeners are logged in when they're obviously using the service, because it's your Pandora, your stations. And so we can take that data and match that up against a client's brief. So very popular, right? Every client briefs their agencies and partners on who they're looking for, and we come back with recommendations that usually are pretty surprising to them in terms of places they might invest. So that it's fun. It's really fun.
And how hard was it to kind of sell this into agencies to start with? Because we know sometimes it's so much technology that media owners involve themselves in, and it takes so much time for the agencies to truly understand it to then take it to the clients.
It was really hard at first. I've been at Pandora since we started monetizing it, so 8.5 years now. And early on we had a lot of clients that were so interested in that influencer audience. So we're talking kind of 06 right now. Okay. Mobile hadn't happened yet. The iPhone was later. So it was hard at first. This whole why would I listen to radio on the web? Yeah. I listened to it in my car, I'm confused. And then the minute the iPhone blew up and we started to see this mobile experience being something that the consumers so craved and was detaching them from their desktop, Pandora was one of the first apps on the iPhone in the United States. And we were the #1 app and have stayed consistently top 3 since then, and Android has of course taken off. So it's gotten a lot easier because there's not an agency or client out there that doesn't use Pandora themselves or has a son or a daughter or a friend, when you think about the amount of reach that we have.
Oh, and obviously you're huge in the States now, 80 million unique views a month, absolutely fantastic. Are you going to take that success and try and export it around the world? Have you got any plans to do
world
that?
domination. We're going. We are putting our toe in the water there. So Australia, New Zealand, we've been there for about 1.5 years. And thankfully English-speaking countries, so in terms of the work to do to get there, we didn't have to completely change the experience, so that was a good first step. And we're having some great conversations actually here in Cannes with marketers that do think about both markets. And that's been fun because we, prior to having that footprint, didn't have that, and the conversations have been so good. And then I think from a consumer standpoint, we want to continue to grow, and we believe so much in this product, and we're also passionate about what we can do to kind of have a musical renaissance for almost everyone in this world. I think we all hope we get there to a point.
Okay. And interestingly, you mentioned about what next. So I suppose for me, one of the things is to ask, where do you guys go next, and how do you see kind of Pandora kind of moving over in the next 2 years?
Yeah, well, I think there's so many different ways we could take that, but coming out of Cannes, where everyone's talking about creativity, a lot of the conversations we've been having have been around the audio spot and what can creatives do to take what can be 5, 10, 15, or 30 seconds and get more creative with it. I think if you talk to most creative agencies, a lot of people are focused on TV, right? The 30-second spot. There's even a lot of work on print and outdoor. And when we start talking about what you can do with audio and how in this world of Internet of Things, audio cuts through everything. In the home, out of your refrigerator, you can deliver an audio ad, and a fun one, and an engaging one, right? You can do the same on a mobile device. You can do the same on the web. So that's been an interesting takeaway that I'm having, where the creatives are kind of sitting back and going, yeah, I guess I need to rethink audio, because I hadn't really thought about it since, we think about terrestrial radio, but as you think of the streaming space and wearables, you don't have this big landscape in order to execute your messaging. So that's been kind of something that we're going to take away, thinking about, how do we connect into the creative shops and do a little bit more work with them to educate them on how that could be a huge part of the next, 5 to 10 years.